So today we're going to unbox the Airhead Composting Toilet. So let's see what's in the box. The lid for the solid tank when you're emptying it. That doesn't look very long. So this is the shroud that goes in the ceiling. The fan's right in here with a little 12-volt power supply. The hose screws right in there. Instructions. This fits to the toilet, so the hose goes in there. The gasket for the shroud. So this is one of the big reasons why we went with the Airhead, is that it had a cover, a seat cover, and a seat separately. Whereas some of them are just basically a cover and then a hard seat. So this kind of feels more like home. So in here you have the separation of your liquids in the front that gets directed to the liquid tank that sits here, and then the solids go through this little hatch. So there you go. A couple of little screws here, untighten these. There we go. And that comes off, and we have the solids tank. So this is where the media goes in, which is, here's a brick. So this is coconut husks. So you break this up with a little bit of water, let the water kind of soak in. And then once that's all ready, it goes in the bottom there. And that's the solid tank. So part of the handle is attached right there. It attaches here. Do it one turn when you go. So then you have your liquid tank. Fits in the front, and then it diverts. The front diverts into the tank right there. Let's go install this bad baby. All right, first step is to remove the existing toilet. You're gonna need something to remove these caps. There's one on both sides. And in my case, this little fitting back here is just hand tight. You might want to get a towel, especially if you've been running your water. Get a towel to put under here because water will come out. All right, this toilet's never been used, so there is nothing kind of stinky about removing it, but you may want to have something to block the hole if you've already used your toilet before. So I used needle nose to basically just get under there and pop that lid. It was that cap. It was a little tight on there. So there's just not a whole lot of clearance because of the foot pedal. Works wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to take off the water line connection. No, nothing came out. There we go. Look how light that is.
You hide to me, Papa?
Sure. Have a toilet, Mom. Oh, and it's super clean in there. Oh, wow. They really gummed up the flange. So we need to plug that off. I don't want to cut it. I want to be able to put the stock toilet back in when one day we will sell this unit, so I want to be able to put it back to stock.
Right.
There's a gasket here, and it's basically, there's this rubberized type compound for sealing, so I'll just take that off. And I'm just going to dig down here, see if it's a lot like residential toilets. Usually you can pull the bolt out and turn it and get it out of there. I really don't want to cut these. All right, so I just kind of worked the putty out of the flange here, and I am able to bring the screw out like so. And there it is, it's out. I'll just go ahead and do that for the other one. So the other thing I did is I just kind of worked the putty away from the flange, and it's nice, kind of almost the same level as the screws now. So I'll just leave it there and just cut the hole bigger around this sealing material. All right, because we're potentially going to use the black as a gray, so we'll put a valve at the discharge end of the dump, and that way we can tie the gray and the black together. We don't want anything coming back up here unabated, so we put this plumber's plug in and I'll tighten it down. And this was a 3-inch. This came with a wing nut. So I basically, before I left the hardware store, I had seen a video that you needed to do this because this will not clear the top of the flange. Sometimes you even have to cut this off short because it protrudes above the flange. So no wing nut, get the right bolt before you leave the hardware store, and then you can tighten it down. There you go. That's not going anywhere, and it actually clears the flange. Okay, so I kind of was very generous with the circumference or the radius of the, I'd rather it be bigger than too small. So I actually just used a piece of speaker wire I had and basically just traced the circle. All right, let's try again. Oh, much better. And it clears the flange. Alright, we'll mark the brackets. So the liquid tank brackets are just all traced out, so now we'll get those installed. Alright, let's see if everything fits. It fits! Okay, so what we decided is that we're gonna basically run a curve, follow the outline of the toilet, and then just feather out and meet up here. So we put kind of some black flat paint, but now we want to seal it, so we went and got some lacquer. So we'll try the lacquer. Now it was time to put where the hose connects to the toilet. So you can put it on either side if you need it on the right side. Put on the O-ring on the outside, just ready to go. Stick it in there. There's this little kind of horseshoe shaped piece that you basically put some PVC glue on, and then you stick it on there. So now the matter of plugging the water supply for the original toilet. And I stumbled across this kit it's a drain plug. It looks like it's the right thread, and it looks like the female end will actually seal. So we're going to try putting this in. There, we'll see if that holds. As soon as we have water pressure, we'll test that. we go. The vent, you saw that little fitting that I glued in here. It's on this side, and the hose is going to come up this way. Now, because it was either or left or right, now the other side is actually where the air intake is, and there's a screen here to keep the bugs out. It just pops in to the other hole. And it, clip, it's in. When you need to take the solids tank out to change the medium, you have to be able to unscrew. And if it's all one piece, then it's going to unscrew. And this is the joint where you can break the connection to the vent, and then you're free to unscrew the hose out of the solid tank, and then you can change the medium. So once the hose is connected, then we need the vent. So the vent is going to go right here, but this is not the right shroud. So we ordered a shroud that comes in on a 90 degrees from the side, and that will be a much better run. We don't want the hose coming down here and then we can see it into the living room.
I don't want to see the hose.
No, don't want to see the hose. So, but Fraser Way will cut the hole. They will install the vent with the gasket, and they're also going to put a vent cap on the outside and seal it properly. Probably better than what I know what to do. I could probably do it, but this way, if it starts to leak and all that, I can always take it back to them and they can fix it. So also, since we need power for the vent fan, what we're going to do is we're going to get them to bring us a lead out, a 12-volt lead out of the fan, little switch here. So they should be able to bring us some 12-volt out to here, and we'll be good to go. This fan will have 24/7 power from the batteries and shore power, and we're good to go. We can take our first trip after that.
Yay! Papa hooked it up. Now we're gonna do the, what did you call it?
Fit test.
Fit test, but I call it a sit test. I'm short. I almost need a stool just for the toilet.
There you go.
Yay! Good job, Papa.
So women will be very happy because you have to put the seat down.
Yay!
You don't have a choice. Hey, that feels like home. So this is going to be the end of part 1. We'll catch up with you when the truck camper comes back with the vent all installed, ready to go. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, consider subscribing to our channel and hit the bell to be notified of any future videos. So let me ask you a question. Would you change out to a composting toilet to give you more range and not requiring so much fresh water? Or are you just very happy with the way you bought your camper and a traditional flush toilet? Let us know in the comments below. In the meantime, we'll catch you on the next one.